Hey all and every many. Thank yous for switching in to Housemates for Life, a podcast powered by Plurals for Plurals and everybody else who wants to hear about the insanely awesome world of plurality. Here we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful sides of sharing a body and mind. So if you turn on this podcast, you either are plural or you wonder what the actual heck is plurality. Plurality is such a broad and complex concept. We would need to make an entire podcast series and we would have to interview all the plurals of this world, and then still we wouldn't understand the full scope of what it actually means to be plural. Trying to define something so diverse and subjective like plural experiences, you can't just bundle it together in a few diagnostic criteria, then put a label on it and say, that's it, that's plurality. It just doesn't work like that. To explain plurality simply, people who take the label plural all experience two or more entities, self-aware entities inside a single brain and a physical body. Being plural is just another way of processing the world within and around us. So for some it may be a burden, for others helpful, most are probably somewhere in between. There's no inherent advantage or disadvantage of being plural or singular, except maybe that society is very well adapted for singular people, and things like a simple conversation can already be ultra complex for plurals, because rarely anybody is used to talking to multiple people in one body. It's not that hard, actually, once you got used to the concept, honestly. And so that's why we think it's important that we as plural systems put ourselves out there. Show people what it's like to be plural, how different the experience is for everyone and every many. We don't want to throw out facts or information about plurality in this podcast series. We just want to tell you about our own individual experiences and show you just one of many examples of systemhood. Because no system is like another. We are also just one of many. What content do we cover in this podcast series? In this podcast, we will share some of our experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful sides of sharing a life. We will talk about all kinds of topics that are directly or indirectly connected to plurality. That means we will talk about some of the most common terminology and how we experience plurality. How being plural impacts our daily life, for example, our social life, our hobbies, our job, our health, etc., etc. We will share some stories about our plural life, for example, how we actually discovered being plural, our so-called discovery journey. We will talk about the challenges that we are going through or have been going through. We will tell some funny anecdotes from our collective household, and so much more. This podcast is powered by Plurals for Plurals. So if you're a system newly discovered, or if you have known it for years, or if you're currently questioning whether you're plural, maybe you will learn one or few things from what we have experienced. Who knows? We also want to grow a sense of community, let you share your experiences in the comments, have some discussions, etc., etc. Just cry and laugh together about all the struggles and awkward moments in a plural's life. Listen to our podcast if you want to hear about mental health, spirituality, deep philosophy on the essence of consciousness and identity, interpersonal communication, relationships, empathy, disabilities, neurodivergence, transgender, and other types of quote-unquote not normal. We are the voices of just a rather very insane system, aka Jarvis. If you enjoy listening to our podcast, Housemates for Life, please tell a friend or more and leave a like, subscribe, rate, comment, and everything else you do to show your support and appreciation. Thanks. Follow us on the podcast platform of your choice and visit our website housematesforlife.com so you never miss the latest news about our podcast and more. As I always say, let your personality shine brighter than your eyes and your confidence shout louder than your voice. Until next time with Housemates for Life.